Hey folks, so yesterday morning, shortly after I got up, I had a snow squall warning, snow squall watch, and that was just, it was issued. It's just weird not seeing the green screen behind me here. It's just kind of weird. I'm looking in the viewer screen there, and I can see the garage and not green. It's just weird. But that's the way it's going to be for a bit until I get things finished. So later that afternoon, the snow squall watch turned into a warning, which means they now exist. So I looked at the radar. There wasn't anything. We got rain earlier earlier in the day, and it was clearing out, and it was really just kind of spotty stuff all over southern Ontario at that point in time. But the warning was issued because the winds were changing directions, which means that the squalls will be starting. Doesn't mean we're gonna get them here, but they will be out there. So I looked out several times, and we never really got anything heavy at all at any time overnight. So I went to bed, and I got woke up to the sound of snowplow, which really freaked me out because I thought it was a fighter jet flying over. That's what it sounded like. So I looked outside, and we didn't have much of anything. I don't know why the plows were actually even out. I don't know, it's a little bit breezy, so maybe there was drifting in some places. I don't know. But it just kind of freaked me out. It's, you wake up to that sound, and it sounds like a fighter jet flying over. It didn't take long to realize it was a snowplow. So, at 9:15 this morning, a snow squall warning has ended, but we're still getting the squalls. I looked at the radar before I come out, and squalls are still there. So I don't know why they ended the warning. Maybe they're not expected to be much of anything, but we're getting more snow now than we got all night. So I just end the warning. Okay, now we'll dump on them, right? So it's 1 degree right now, 1 lonely degree. I'm just gonna go to Timmy's and check the mail. I don't have any money to do anything else, so that's all I'm gonna do. And it is snowing pretty good right now. We still have a weather advisory, a winter weather travel advisory in effect. Winter travel advisory is in effect for this morning. I don't know if they have to repeat that. Lake effect snow squalls are expected to continue this morning. Local snowfall accumulation of up to 5 centimeters is possible. Lake effect snow squalls may continue into the afternoon in the Goderich and Stratford areas. That's a little bit south of us, so maybe not. Even if we just get the edge of them, not that much. So maybe that's why they ended the warning. They just kind of put the advisory in there. So, like I say, I'm not doing too much. Snow's slowing down now. I'm just going to grab me a coffee, go to the post office, and maybe find somewhere to sit and take a quick break or something. I don't know if I'm going to do anything else. No shopping or anything, so that's that. I don't know. No, you're not going to be able to see out the door. Maybe a little bit of snow, but we'll see what happens. There's something down in the garage. And something important. I got that door open all the way now. I was kind of planning on doing that when I come out today. But I didn't want to say anything because as you know, by the time I get back I don't feel like doing anything. Oh my goodness. My original plan was to just shave off the bottom of the door. And I figured I'd do as much as I could today and just kind of work at it a little at a time. Well, I started, and there's nails right at the very bottom of the door. My saw's not going to cut through that. And my handsaw is the only thing that I can really use. Like I said, that door weighs as much as the garage does, so I can't take it off and, cut it separate. It has to be cut while it's hanging. It's a super heavy door. It's like solid wood, and it's about 4 inches thick. So, started thinking my options. The door's fine until it's almost open, then it hits the floor. So I figure, well, if I pull the bottom hinges outward, that'll lift the end of the door and it'll cover. So that's what I tried to do. Took the bolts out of the bottom 2 hinges, stuck a piece of wood in behind them to pull it forward, and I couldn't get that door to move. It's so close to the floor as it is that I didn't have room to get anything under it to force it up. I tried pounding on it with the hammer from behind. It didn't make any difference. So, did what I could. And I actually managed to get the door to open all the way. So, I went to close it and now it won't close. Because the problem is I couldn't get the door in far enough, so instead of the hinge being flush, it was kind of on an angle like this. So when I pulled the bolts in, not only did it pull it together, but it pulled it this way. So now when you close the door's pushing against the door jamb. Okay, try again. So I got the door closed, and because the hinges are where they are now, it actually lifted the door up. I could get a wedge underneath, thankfully, and just kind of forced the bottom of the door away from the jamb a little bit. And I had to re-bolt the bottom hinges. I stuck them in different holes because the other holes they're in are going to be messed up now. And I put them in on the door jamb is here. I can't really show you this with the camera. Let's say this is horizontal. Here we go. So I don't know how to explain it, guys. Let's see what I got here. See if I got anything I can use as an example. Let's try this. Okay. This is the door jamb. This is the bolt going into the hinge. If you look at it from the top, instead of being perfectly 90-degree angle, I was pulling on an angle like this. So when the bolt comes in and it pulls everything tight, it's actually gonna pull the door this way. So it's actually gonna pull it away from the jamb a little bit. So I put the bolts in on a bit of an angle, and that caused an issue with trying to bolt them in, but it worked. So the only issue I have now is when the landlord built the front here. I don't know if you can see. Right at the very bottom on this wall part that he bought, it's not attached to the ground at all. So every time you hit the door hits it, it's kind of pushing the bottom outward. So I can't pound on it because he's got the vinyl siding on it now. So I put a 2x4 up against it, pounded it. It came back, but it's just. I gotta put a bolt into the concrete, and I don't have anything I can use for that right now. I have concrete bits. Actually, I don't think I have I think they're masonry bits. I don't think I have anything I can drill into the concrete with. But that's the only way I'm going to solve that problem. I got to put a bolt in the ground to hold the bottom of that wall in place. But I mean, it's working. I might have to put a bungee or something on the outside because the door doesn't fit. Because the way it was before, it was actually going inside that 2x4 and it was rubbing against it. That's the friction was holding it closed. There's nothing holding that now. So I'm going to have to put a bungee or something out there just to hook it to keep the wind from blowing it open and blowing all kinds of snow in here. And then I'm going to put something across the bottom just to take care of that gap, because there's more of a gap there now too. I might not do that right now. So the nice thing is I'm all ready to move the shelf over, because I couldn't move the shelf over until that was done. So when that's going to happen I don't know, but I can even wait till spring. I just had to get that door out open all the way so I could come in on an angle. Then it doesn't matter where Zach's parked, because I don't have to swing the front end over and try not to hit his car as I back in, so I can just back straight in on an angle now. Straight in on an angle. It sounds weird. Oh, I'm so happy to have that done. That's my job for today. I'm done. I was actually getting kind of worried towards the end there. I was running out of steam. I'm like weak. I feel like I just ran a marathon, and just those last two bolts just twisting the socket. I was so worried that I wasn't going to be able to finish, but I got it. We're all good. So before I left, I mentioned that it looked like the snow's slowing down or stopping, and it actually looked like the sun was going to come out. And then, just as I got out here, a snowplow went by, and it started snowing heavier again. Another squall came through, so... But it stopped. I decided to give you guys a little more... Oh, before I get to that. I got down to Timmy's. I hate crossing that parking lot. Oh, it's so dangerous. And not just for me, for everybody. So I come in, I get over there, and before I cross, even cars that are pulling in, I make sure they're not coming towards Value Mart, because they go every direction in that spot. And you're crossing over each other. It's the way it's set up. It's so stupid. And you get transport trucks that come in. They have to come in the wrong side in order to go around to the truck parking. It's just dumb the way it is. You gotta have eyes in every direction when you go through there. So I waited till everybody got through, and there was another truck coming in. So I got over to where the cars are parked, and at that point, as I say that, it's starting to snow again. So as I get to that part, and I just kind of peek around to make sure there's nobody coming from the drive-thru, because they'll come through there. They just got their drinks, they may be putting their wallet away, they may be setting their phone down or something and not watching, so always have to watch. And there was a Jeep coming out, so I waited for him, and then there was a truck pickup coming in with a trailer, and I figured, well, he's probably going to go to the truck parking, he's not going to go into the regular parking. Some people go through the drive-thru with a trailer, you can manage, but I just watching, and sure enough, he's going straight through, so I'm waiting for him. Somebody comes out of the drive-thru, they almost collide, so he hits the brakes, and as soon as he starts moving, the guy from the drive-thru let him go through. As soon as he starts moving, once the trailer's clear, I can go, because I'm going straight across to the garbage can. So I'm about to go, and all of a sudden this lady walks out from between the parked cars. I almost hit her. So I get to the garbage can, and the guy that's coming out of the drive-thru, now that the truck with the trailer's passed, he comes out, and he almost hits another car. Oh my god, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, do I want to be out today? It's crazy. There's... I wonder how many collisions happen in that parking lot every year, just because of the way it's set up. Everybody crisscrossing over each other from every direction. It's insane. It's just insane. I absolutely hate crossing there, but there's nothing else I can do. The only thing I can really do is come down the sidewalk and cross over the entrance to Tim Hortons, come through that way. And then if I'm going across again to the garbage can, all I have to do is make sure there's nobody coming this way or that way. Drive-through trucks don't matter. That's the only thing, but then I'm stuck, driving into all that traffic, coming in and out too. And some people come in there pretty quickly, as you've seen, last year. But just gotta be careful. It's insane. And I don't have fenders to crunch. If I get hit, I'm gonna get hurt. So, used my Christmas lights for the first time today. So I went and checked the mail. It wasn't even worth it. Just a couple flyers in there. And I decided to go for a bit of a drive. I decided to do something different, give you guys some different scenery, which is where I started talking about that. And on my way to Timmy's, I noticed that the other river's up pretty good. It's up into the floodplain now, so it's swollen. Yeah, I noticed it was up a little bit the other day, but the main river at the dam wasn't, so I decided to check that today. But instead of stopping at the boat launch, because there's just, a good amount of snow there now, and I didn't want to get stuck again, I decided to cross the bridge and go up around to the other side. So I pull in there, and it's like, remember what I said? The first snowstorm that we had, I was out that night, the night that the fire trucks were out. I was sitting at the boat launch, and I could hear all the tree branches cracking and falling on the other side. Well, yeah, that whole area is just covered in tree branches that fell down. It's insane. So I'm just kind of picking and choosing where I'm going to sit, because I know I'm not going to be able to back up. And I didn't want to get too close to the edge of the riverbank, because I'd be going uphill, and I just didn't want to have to push. So I kind of picked where I was going to step, where I was going to sit. And there's so many trees down there that still had their leaves. Like even up here, I'm looking across the street, there's a big tree. Still got most of its leaves. Actually, it almost looks like all of them, but I'm surprised. There's still so many leaves on the trees. And all the willow trees down there, especially the weeping willows, they're still covered in leaves. So, more heavy wet snow, we're going to have more branches coming down. And Mother Nature's a little bit slow this year, I think. So by the time I got there, the snow had stopped. I got to the post office, my whole front of the monster was covered in snow again, so I had to brush off my lights, clear them off, clean off the camera lens. Because that's the problem with the wet snow, it sticks to everything. It doesn't fall off, it melts, but it doesn't fall off. It just kind of slowly starts drooping. So when I got to the other side of the dam, I sat there, and unfortunately there was one single tree branch that was hanging out over me, and it was raining on me. Everything was melting off of it. But I did notice that river is up too. Not a lot, but it is up. It's up into the flat area below the grass, below the boat launch, so it's up too. That's probably from the rain that we got. We got a good amount of rain yesterday. So when I got to leave, sure enough, I knew I couldn't back up. Tires immediately spun. So I had to go do a bit of a loop and turn around and come back through. I kind of anticipated that. That's why I sat where I sat. I was expecting an issue. So, and I came across the trail bridge. It's pretty bumpy right now, because all that snow getting packed down from people walking on it, and it's really, really bumpy. All the packed footprints. I guess that's it. Have anything else to say? I did make it home before the low battery warning. I was getting kind of concerned. Before I went straight to Timmy's, and then straight to the post office. By the time I got to the post office, half my battery charge was gone. So, but the first half goes away really quick, and the second half just kind of lingers. And I got home. I was down to 2. And I was waiting for it. I was expecting the low battery warning. I was expecting it to drop down to that last one. It didn't. So I made it home. So once the temperature gets really super cold, I'm not going to have any range at all. It's bad enough with good batteries. So I guess we'll have to see what happens there. So anyway, that's all I got. It's getting kind of long now. Thanks for watching. I got something accomplished today.